So I saw a stereo on eBay with the volume stuck on max for £1. And you know what I said to myself? You know what? I can't turn that down.
Take a drink.
Someone threw a bottle of mayonnaise at me, and I said, "What the hell, mans?"
Oh,
Take another drink.
Should have stuck. No twisting here.
Mm-hmm. My wife said, "Why don't we go out on dates like when we first met?" So I took her to dinner at McDonald's and dropped her off at her parents. Come on.
Wow, that was like 3 roller coasters. All one after another.
It's all there. God dear. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Black Dog 86.5. For reasons best left into the mysteries of time. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
And I'm Elton.
And no Jim this week. He has issues going on at home. We wish him all the best, and that's all we're going to say on the matter. But he will be back at some stage. That's the end of that.
Word up, Jim.
Word up.
Yeah,
Peace.
word up, Jim.
Peace, Jim. Yeah, Jim, this is for you. Anyway, so so we'll find out how everyone's week's been this week. We'll get a little bit of feedback for this week's movie because it's taken us 3 weeks to get to it. So we've got a little bit of feedback for this week's movie, and we will be reviewing this week's movie, which is my choice, which was Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro's movie, which was premiering on the day we were supposed to be reviewing it.
Yes.
But in fact, that was 3 weeks ago.
All that time ago, wasn't it?
All that time ago. Since then, we've had people getting happy slappy on telly. We've had all sorts.
No, don't do it.
No, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
Come back from the light. Come back.
Yes. One of the reasons why we don't have a podcast from last week is exactly that.
Yep.
And that's all we'll say on the matter right now.
Nuns, reverse.
Yeah, look out, Muppets. Anyway, right. So we'll get on with this week's How Was Your Week? And we'll start with you, Elton. So how's it been, sir?
It's been fairly quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I have, out the front of my house, we did have Wisteria. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all.
Yeah.
What I don't know about plants isn't worth knowing.
Exactly. Well, I thought this would be the best place to bring this up because
this is absolutely the best place for plant news.
I thought he was talking about that track off from Def Leopard, but then I realised it's Hysteria.
Alan Titchmarsh does Hysteria, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Monty Don sings Wisteria.
Yeah.
How can you feel it?
I've been battling this thing. It's like a flipping triffid, and it was all over the front of my house, but now it is gone. So I'm glad about that. That's what I've been doing this week, just hacking at that bastard.
Fighting the Wisteria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wisteria. I know. Now you put that in my head. Son
Keep coming back. Wisteria, when you're there.
Oh, thank God I don't know that track.
What? From Def Leopard? You must.
What, you mean this one, Elton?
No, don't.
No, because I can play it to you if you want.
No.
It's not a problem.
I'm good.
I could just fire it down the
fine.
mic. I've queued it up. I'm ready to go.
You sure? Go for it.
Sure you don't want to hear it?
Go on.
I'm thinking of you guys, copyright and stuff like that. That's all I'm thinking of.
Well, have we ever worried about copyright? It's a review section. As long as it's no longer than 30 seconds,
I was going to say,
fine.
After what Andy did on the Great Derelict, and he's still standing, I'm fine. I think the gloves are off. We can do what we like now. That's it.
Yeah.
Back to the intros. 6 hours of trying to get those copyrighted out.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, as we were saying,
yes, I've been battling my Wisteria.
I'm stopping it.
That's it.
Where's the pause button?
Oh,
There
God.
we go.
Where's the pause button? What have you got, like a Walkman from 1986 there?
Yeah.
No. You see, because what's happened is because I've actually searched for the track. that the keyboard is taking up most of the screen. So it's like, where's the fucking button gone? Get rid of the keyboard. Get rid of the keyboard. So it's fine though. It's under control.
Right. Okay.
DJ Desi Def.
No.
Play the noise, Lee. Play the noise.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Get your motherfucking lighthouse out of my motherfucking mouth.
No, stop.
Get your lighthouse out of your motherfucking mouse? How can you
I
fit a
don't know.
lighthouse? Could you fit a lighthouse in a mouse?
I don't know.
It depends on the size of the mouse, really.
It could be. I mean, Trumpton or something. Trumpton Lighthouse. Yeah.
Can I say this is 100% more lively than it was last week?
Oh,
It
well,
bloody
just-
it bloody well was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think we made a good call. Good call.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
all I'm saying.
Oh, blimey. It's nothing that a couple of electrodes on the nipples couldn't have actually sorted out for us last week. But,
If you could record audio in black and white, last week's episode was black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah, with scratchy lines and a hair caught in the gate,
Yeah.
sort of flittering in the side. Yeah, it could be summed up by basically the soundtrack to Steptoe and Son. Really, I think that could have just been the whole of last week's recording.
I thought my Tom Waits impression was pretty impressive, though. This film this week that I watched, it was a film that I did watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so let's skirt over that. In fact, what's going to happen now. You're going to get someone like Andy do #release the black dot cut or something like that.
Yeah, too late.
It'll be too late. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've already covered it in petrol and set it alight. It's already gone.
Yep, it's on fire and it's burning down.
It is. There it goes. Look, there's fucking
Embers.
Kirk Douglas and fucking Tony Curtis watching it sail off into the distance while the theme tune to the Vikings plays.
All the celluloid is melting away.
That's yeah.
Have we actually watched the Vikings?
No.
If
If you can find it, we'll watch it.
I can't find it, I will.
Throw Ernest Borgnine down a pit of wolves.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I'm on the hunt now. I'm like Duran. I'm on the hunt. I'm after you. Oh, here we go. This is it. Give me a couple of minutes.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Elton. How was your week?
That's cool. That's cool. One other thing as well.
Mhm.
I have been saving the Ozark until it's all complete, so then I can binge the last season because I flipping love that series. I think it's amazing.
Cool.
And it's come back for season 4, and they're not doing any more after that. So I thought I will wait. And I know my mum started watching it. I thought it was all up and ready to go, and I think they've put 7 episodes on Netflix. I got to the end of the 7th episode. And it went, part 2 of season 4 is coming at the end of April. And I was like, what? We still do that now, do we? We're having splitting one season into 2 seasons. When did that become a thing again? I thought that was a very 2010 thing.
Well, it was because we were getting stuff. We were used to be getting stuff from the internet, and we were reliant on the American, schedules.
Yep.
And they have that mid-season break, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what was happening. I guess Netflix, being an American company, is just sticking to that, or I don't know. There must be a reason.
Preposterous.
I am outraged. I am outraged and annoyed. I am disgusted with this colonialism. This media.
Right, it's time to take it back, and we will.
Yes, we shall sail into Boston Harbor and reclaim all the tea.
Yes. Yeah, when did they do the bastards doing that? Because I got to the end of episode 7, I think it was, and I thought, amazing scenes, incredible behavior going on in front of me. I was really enjoying it, and then click on the next episode. Oh no, why is it not clicking onto the next episode? Surely there's more. No, season 4.5 or whatever it was coming in April. And it's like, oh, son of a...
Yeah. The problem is, what's going to be even worse is you probably find that mid-season break was sort of either end of lockdown.
Yeah.
So you'll probably find that like everyone's like 20 stone heavier. The start of the next part of the season, 20 stone heavier, and probably some of them have a little trouble breathing running uphill.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that, isn't there?
Yes. There's going to be a lot of that sort of stuff. Anyway, but so when is it coming out? This next season again?
End of this month. End of April.
Okay.
So, have you watched any of the Ozark?
I have not, but every time I look at it, it looks like it's filmed underwater. It looks like it's filmed in like someone's got a teal filter and just stuck it over everything. So, for me, it looks ugly. But I honestly haven't watched a single second of it. Only seen like the trailers, and I probably will, but it's behind everything else that I've got to watch.
It's incredible. I think it's amazing. Yeah, it does have that teal kind of like the bluey kind of look to it, but that's because it's set around the lakes.
Oh, right.
It has that sort of vibe to it. So
okay,
it's honestly incredible stuff. So
okay, I will check it out. I mean, like I say, I hear a lot of good things about it. It's just I find myself sort of getting to this point now where I've got time for like one, maybe two series tops, and then after that, my brain just goes, I can't be fucked. Yeah. so I want to leave space. If I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it. But not when I'm sort of got other things to watch.
And one of the main characters in Ozark, she's in Creating Annie or something. Oh, I've just been watching it. I'm like 4 episodes into it now. But that's really good. But what I'm finding is I can't binge as much as I thought I could.
Anna.
Inventing Anna, that's it. Yes. And it's based on like a true life story of this lady who I think she was prosecuted for nicking loads and loads of money off of people and basically scamming people out of millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, right.
She was a con artist, wasn't she? That's right.
Yeah. But sitting down, and I was doing some work yesterday, and I had the laptop open, and I was doing various things. I had it on in the background and bouncing in and out, as you do. It's one of them TV shows you can do that.
Yeah.
And I think I watched 3 episodes, and by the time I got to the end of the 3rd episode that I was watching, it was too much. I thought I would be able to hit maybe 4 or 5 episodes in one go, but no, that was it. I kind of reached my peak maximum of a certain subject. I was like, no more. Not going in anymore. I'm full up. My eyes are bigger than my belly.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? When you start binging, it stops having any impact. I think that's the other thing I've noticed, especially with the couple of things that I've watched in recent weeks. It's just been like, if you watch one episode and give it some space and then go in and watch the next episode, you find at least you can appreciate it more. Whereas if you're just watching everything back to back, you're just like, oh no, it's all blurring into one another.
I think 2 episodes back to back is my peak. That is a good amount of one series in one sitting. That is a movie, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So 2 episodes, that's fine. It leaves me wanting more, but not enough that I don't feel like I've already had some.
Madam. Have you had some, madam?
And I just left my money on the bedside cabinet and walked out.
And I just left. I said good day.
I made my excuses and said good day, sir.
Sir?
Oh, it's out now, isn't it? Damn.
Well, it certainly sounds like it.
I bid you good day, sir.
Sir? I say, what? Okay.
I say, Elton, where are you going? Well, I've had enough here. I've had my fill. Thank you very much.
Take your filthy love money and get out.
Is that my pipe? No, that's my pipe. Okay, I'll take the other one then.
we all made our excuses and left. There you go.
Made my excuses, put my newspaper under my arm, and left.
Yes. I thanked him for the hot bath. and the extra lathering, and then I left.
Squeezed past Simon and was out the door.
Yes. I put the lid on the Mr. Matey and left.
I don't know what picture we're trying to conjure there.
I don't know either, but you know what? Go with it. Just go with it. We're all.
Isn't it fun?
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, that was my week. So that's
that.
it. That's all you're getting out of me.
Okay, that's fine. That's what he said.
And then I made my excuses,
Paid my
and
money
I left.
and left. Put the lid on the Mr. Matey and vamoosed. Took a bow and then exited stage left, pursued by a bear. Anyway. Anyway. Right. So, Darren.
Yes.
How was your week?
How was my week?
Excuse me.
Let's see. What did we do this week? Well, we had COVID this week.
You had COVID this week.
We had COVID. Both me and Ree. Ree's just getting over hers now, but I have been declared clean. So
right.
I'm able to go and mix in public again, which is pretty silly, seeing as mixing in public is the thing that got me in trouble in the first place. So
yes,
really, maybe I want to rethink that strategy, but unfortunately,
you need to make more excuses.
Yes, put your paper under your arm and left.
Yes, good day, sir. I say good day, sir.
Exit stage left, pursued by bear.
Bear. So yes, and what I mean, if you thought, if you had suspicions that COVID was just fucking annoying, to quite a few people, I can honestly say that yes, it is fucking annoying. It's it is possibly, if you kind of get just standard symptoms and whatever, and you're stuck indoors, then this is kind of, this is the worst, the most boring type of apocalypse that we could have ever wished for. Because that's basically what it was. It's like I didn't feel like I was at death's door most of the time. I felt like unwell, but, it's that whole thing of you're not allowed to go out, and so you want to go out, right? And the moment they declared me clear, I was like, I think I'll stay in now. That's it. I don't want to go out. Why would I want to mix with people?
You've developed agoraphobia.
Yeah, that's it. I think the most I got out of, what was it? One of the few things that I got out of having COVID was discovering that Iceland do possibly one of the best delivery services of any supermarket, because they've actually got slots for things. I hit the burger jackpot as well with those guys. I bought some burgers, right? Some frozen burgers. It said I wasn't reading the packet properly.
I love the way that you have to say frozen burgers.
Yeah, frozen burgers,
because that's the classy option.
They are the classy option, right? So I bought some. I bought some buns today to go and to have some, so we can have some tonight. And I've pulled these burgers out the freezer, and I've noticed that these burgers, right, they're like 2 burger patties together on each one, and they have a slice of cheese already in the middle of them. And it's like, we live in an age of wonders.
So hang on, let me get this straight. The 2022 doesn't represent to you like the age of cloning and future space exploration, or
no, fuck that. It's ready-made cheeseburgers.
It's
mate.
ready-made cheeseburgers with a slice of cheese through the middle.
Fucking, I come from the Marks and Spencer's generation, right, where everything is done for you. Where they kind of pre-chew your food, stick it in a packet, and you don't really have to do much. You just throw it down a toilet and cut the fucking middleman. Because that's what Marks and Spencer's does. I think I knew the world was coming to an end when I saw they had mashed potato. Ready-made mashed potato in a packet. And it's like, are you serious? It's not even smash. It's like you're not even boiling it and putting a fucking boiling hot water on it and stirring it with a spoon. You've not even got that, right?
I get the argument with that, okay, but it's the same as I had that argument with grated cheese in a bag. I was like, what? Who the fuck can't grate cheese? But it's the older generation.
Which we're rapidly becoming by the sound of this.
And one day we'll go, oh yes, someone already put some cheese in between two patties. That's brilliant.
Yes.
That's the future.
We are losing. This is the thing. There's a danger of losing these vital skills, so that when society falls and then builds it back up again, we're like, how did they make those tiny strips of cheese? Those that we had here. Is that the way they made it? That it'll keep fucking scientists confused for centuries.
Are you trying to tell me that when we step out from underneath the ashes of a nuclear apocalypse, the first thing you're going to be bartering is your ability to stick cheese between two frozen patties?
Yeah, fucking right. I'll tell you.
Is that it?
What is this magic? What is this magic here? The
Watch
elders,
this, guys. I'm going to blow your fucking mind.
Exactly.
Stand back, everyone. Stand back. Allow me to wonder you post-nuclear Neanderthals. Let me surprise you with the burger that is not only frozen, but has a slice of cheese within it.
What is this?
And as Darren wipes the grease away from the corners of his mouth, he put his newspaper underneath his arm and bid everyone a good day.
Exit stage left, pursued by nuclear fire bear.
You can just see it, can't you? They go, what is this? What is this magical creamy paste that you bring before us? It is potato of the mashed variety. No, a potato is a round thing. How did you get it like this? It is magic from the ancients. It is already like this. This is how they had their potato.
Tell us, oh wise one. Tell us, oh ancient. You're going to be like Peter Ustinov from fucking Logan's Run, teaching all these young'uns who come out from under domes how to make mashed potato.
I come from an age of giants, of technological marvels, of the hot pocket.
We need to do a video of Darren just walking over the top of Shooter's Hill saying, I have found mashed potato.
Yes.
It's from the other side of the hill, you know.
It is.
I have come here before you to show you the humble lump of potato is not the only way. We can make chips or
I'll tell you what I'll be
spuds.
Like.
Will it
fucking
be salad or frozen
That's
peas?
what I'll be like. Me.
Will it be mushrooms or fried onion rings? You'll have to wait and see.
I have writings of the ancients. Will it be spuds? Will it be chips or jacket spuds? Will it be salad or frozen peas?
Will it be mushrooms?
Will it be mushrooms? Fried onion rings? You'll have to wait and see.
Now, all together, you at the front.
I did discover other texts. I discovered a text that asked an age-old question that we should mull over and try to find the answer to. What is this question that they asked? I'm glad you asked me that. For this question is thus. Daddy or chips?
Yeah. Oh, God.
What is a daddy?
I'll be your daddy. Exit stage left, pursued by bear. Yeah.
Coming soon to Fallout 4. There we go.
Yeah, Fallout 4 Umbongo DLC.
Yep.
You have to find all the ingredients to Umbongo.
Yep. In a nuclear wasted Addleston.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way down deep in the middle of the Congo. A hippo took a guava and a mango. He stuck it all together. He does the daisy tango. The lion said, I know, we'll call it Umbongo.
Umbongo, they drink it in the Congo.
The lion picked a passion fruit. The mama said a mandarin. The parrot painted packets that the Hulkaboodle landed in. So if you want a sunny, funny goodness in the jungle, you'll prefer the sunny, funny one they call Umbongo.
Fuck me, it's like listening to the Bromley equivalent of Eminem. There, it's fucking you. You're a fucking Shakespeare man.
I'm going to drop some rhymes on you, yo.
I bet you are. Are you going to bust some? You going to bust some rhymes?
Going to do some
drop
beats.
Some beat, man.
Stick some
drop
beats.
The beat.
Yeah. Hot bars.
Hot bars.
Right on you.
Fear my elite musical skills.
Yeah. See, no one does rap battles like I do rap battles,
No.
man.
Exactly.
You bring the gangster, I bring the umbongo.
This
See
isn't
who
just
come-
any rap battle. This is an M&S rap battle. Yes. Ready made. There you go in a fucking packet. Just stick it in a microwave. Fucking hell.
Anyway.
But anyway, yes. Moving on swiftly.
I remember the
something
days when
else.
they called it B-Jams.
B-Jams. B-Jams. No, B-Jams is not just a style of music. It's actually, it actually was what Iceland was before it became Iceland's. It was B-Jams.
I asked for a B-Jams. He gave it to me. I put the lid on the bottle of matey. I picked up my paper and I said, "Good day, sir." Thank you for the B-Jams. Thank you, sir.
I'm off to buy some. I'm off to buy some B-Jams ice pops. That's what I'm off to. Some jubblies, some B-Jam jubblies, some frozen B-Jam jubblies. Yes, let's get those, shall we? Yes.
they
Don't
even
worry,
exist?
they're supposed to glow in the dark like that. Yes,
Yeah, that blue is unnatural in every form of nature known to man.
exactly. I'm not sure if this is anything to worry about, but I've just looked at pictures of my ancestors, and I know I've got blue teeth, but suddenly so have they. That's how strong the flavouring is. It's gone back in time, down my bloodline. It's like, what the fuck they call that memory that passes between fucking generations? What is it? Is it racial memory or something like that? I don't know.
Regressive.
Yeah, genetic memory.
Genetic memory, that's it. Yeah, it's infected the code and gone backwards. It's like Merlin is living the wrong way round. It's just, there you are.
Yeah, I took a drink of that stuff once, and it set off a Geiger counter in the local airport.
Yep, I became
Benjamin-
the world's... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say Benjamin Button blue teeth or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I became the world's first fucking human glow stick. Take me along to a rave. Yeah, just give him a fucking ice pop. There we go. Or
Nice.
a jubbly. A
Lovely
pyramid.
jubbly.
One of those fucking twisted jubbly pyramid type things that you used to be able to get.
Jubbly pyramids.
Jubbly pyramids. Jubbly
Oh, they were lovely.
But there you go. But yes, one other thing we did.
Go on.
Because we were all stuck at home and, we had nothing else to do, we went, I know, I'd like to watch all the Marvel films that I haven't seen yet. I'm sure there's a couple that I haven't seen. Turns out it's about 90% of the back catalogue of Marvel films that Ree hasn't seen. She went, I've not seen that one. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one. So I've been going through literally all the Marvel films, spotting stuff that was signposted like about, fucking 10 years ago that's appeared in movies that are happening now,
Yeah, I know.
So little mentions of various things, and it's like, I know where that comes from.
Yep, I know what that means now.
Ooh. I did the Captain America thing. I get that reference. Yes.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
It's,
So what
it's-
ones have you watched then recently?
we watched, we went, because she's seen Iron Man, so we went from, went Iron Man 2, then we went to, there's no Incredible Hulk on there
No.
at all. So we couldn't do that one because we would have started it off with that to begin with, to tell you the truth. So let's see, it was that, then it was Thor, then it was Captain America, the First Avenger, then it was the Avengers, and I did say that I don't care if you have seen that, we're watching that one again anyway. Guilty pleasure. So there was that. And then
Does
we went
mother
on to
know you wearest her drapes?
Exactly. So there's that. And then it's like when you go through it and you see the journey these characters go on, and you see the fact that, the sort of fucking shit that Tony Stark goes through in Iron Man 3, how it sort of like the stuff that happens in Avengers. Fucking it. I mean, I've seen this before and I know this happens, but it's still quite just the way, he gets triggered by certain things and how it fucking paralyzes him and that. Great stuff. And his interaction with the kids as well still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Especially when the kid tries to get a lift off him in the car.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, that bit. So
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
It's great stuff.
Excellent stuff. Yep. And of course, there's the whole Ben Kingsley thing as well. So there's that, the Mandarin. There's all of that, and realizing that this whole thing leaks through to other films in later phases. And
Yep.
yeah, it's all good. It's been a lot of fun going back and revisiting the whole lot.
Well, funny enough. I mean, without getting into my week, but that's what we're doing. We're slowly every Sunday we're going one step along the timeline because Disney Plus has a thing which has them in chronological order.
Exactly. Yes.
So you can watch them in that order, along with all the shorts and the one shots and everything else. Yeah,
we've been doing it in cinematic order, so we're doing it in phase order, and we're taking in the little films, whichever ones that Ree's not seen. We're taking those in as well. And it's when you see things like the very first ones, like A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? There's another one as well. There's a Consultant as well. And you fit those together, and it's kind of like you can literally watch the end of Iron Man 2 and go straight across without taking a break and go straight into like Captain America. No, into Thor straight away. So you can, if you edit it together, it's like 1 6.5 hour movie. You know, that whole lot. Yeah, it's just really well done. And whatever you might think of these films, whatever, you know, if you've reached a stage where you've become a little bit sort of numb to it now, you can't knock the work that went into these films to try and link them all together, you know, and to try and make a series out of these while still trying to make these things stand alone enough so that people could just pick them up and watch them. Yeah. You know, so all power to fucking Kevin Feige
or whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah. And all that lot. Yeah, it's just, it's been really cool just going back through them again and seeing the subtle things that they added and those little splinters, those offshoots, and this goes there, and well, I know where that's going, and why didn't I see that before? And look, in Iron Man 2, this fucking Elon Musk has a conversation with him. Like, fucking hell, I didn't know who Elon Musk was back then. Yeah, you know, but he's in that film, so there you are. Yeah, so little things like that. So
it's really cool.
It's been really enjoyable. We're on, and of course, we've been enjoying now the latest addition to the Marvel franchise, which is Moon Knight.
Moon Knigget,
which I really liked. Yeah, I've got to say, I really like that. Yeah, it made me laugh, and it's just really a nice little setup. I like the way they've done it, the way they've structured it. Yeah, that show. I can see where it might annoy some people, but I think Oscar Isaacs really was the right choice for that role. His London accent is absolutely brilliant. It really is. It's a lot better in the show itself than it was in the trailer. That voiceover you hear. So and it is so British. The stuff that's in it, the language, like it gets called donut twice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Neil, bollocks.
Yes, that bit. I'm a gift shop man. Yeah.
I'm from a gift shop.
Fucking ace. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah. So there we go. That was that's basically our week from what I can remember of it.
Your week / fortnight.
Exactly. It's mainly been Marvel.
And frozen cheeseburgers and COVID.
Frozen ready-made cheeseburgers.
And COVID.
Hey, I did have to put the burgers in a bun. Thank you very much. So you know, that's not just not the work that I did.
You've pushed culinary science forward like 4,000 years. Well done.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay, I fucking shit him. I'll tell you.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just swiftly move on before we get sort of him suddenly kicking the door in. You fucking donut. I'm not saying it's raw. It looks like Peppa Pig, but anyway. Yeah, what are you? A fucking idiot sandwich. Anyway, my week, fortnight, month, it's been I went to see Hans Zimmer. That was the thing. I did say that last week, but nobody's heard that last week. So, went to see Hans Zimmer. Got my internal organs liquefied by sub levels of bass that are previously only heard in sort of seismic charts and that sort of thing.
And the kidney stones are gone.
Yeah, exactly. Or the bits or when it started with the lady with the sound, the Atreides March from June, and it's like and it's like
very nice.
Oh, my teeth are rattling. Very, very cool. Very cool indeed. Lovely, lovely night. Quite emotional towards the end, but it's it's great, fantastic, and the then like stuff that wasn't on the playlist before when I'd seen him before, like Interstellar and June, as I mentioned, and James Bond, his version of No Time to Die, followed by the actual James Bond theme.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You watch like 20, 30 odd musicians blasting out the James Bond theme. I was like, whoa, that's some serious shit there. So it's very good. Next time he comes around, I'm definitely seeing him again. But I think I'll have to start saving now for the tickets if I want to go down below the sort of like stratosphere. Because I think those tickets down at the front must have been like 300-400 quid, and I'm not paying that no matter how good the music is.
Did they wheel in some surgical patients to sit there, for various ailments that needed sonics?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah,
put them over by the speaker.
Put them over by the speaker, and then once they were once the concert was over, they wheeled them back out, and the CAT scan was being printed on the wall behind them like a shadow. Where is it? So let's write that down. What else has been going on? Well, I actually went for a weekend break down to Brighton with my wife and no children.
Oh my word!
Hate to say, it's shocking, but it does eventually go back to normal. Your life.
That's it.
Once kids get to a certain age, who knows? They can actually look after themselves. We went to Brighton, went down there for the weekend, and went into a fancy ass wine bar, and acted like real human beings, and then went and had a steak, and then nearly realised I might need to take a mortgage to pay for it. But you know what? It was lovely. The only thing that was quite funny, though, was we'd done this kind of... Carol had organised one of these hotels, which is more like a sort of Airbnb thing. And so we got this massive, great big room. And it was a lovely room, really nice. And it's sort of all decked out, and you got this big double bed and a massive TV screen and, and a big bay window that looks out onto the sea sort of thing. And then... it's actually got an upstairs, and you're like, bloody hell, this is fancy. And upstairs, there's a bathroom and shower and all this kind of thing. And it's like, wow, this is well cool. But the stairs were these little wrought iron, sort of twizzly, swirly stairs, like spiral staircase.
Yeah.
There was never meant to be an upstairs, was there?
No, I don't think there ever was. However... while it looked absolutely lovely, once you've had 3 glasses of very expensive wine and you've eaten an awful lot of really expensive food and you're feeling like kind of part man, part weeble, and you want to go to the toilet and you're having to climb up this spiral staircase that is literally only about a foot across and like 8 feet straight up. It's not the easiest thing to do. It was I'll tell you what it was like. It was like the vertical equivalent of, in Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio trying to get in his Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine that, but trying to go up some stairs instead. It was like the stairs were just that bit too high and a bit too angled, and my fat ass with no shoes and socks on, stepping on like iron grills, going, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh fuck, oh fucking, and I'm wobbling all over the place with the wine in my head, going, oh, fuck it. And then my arse is touching the railings and it all going cold. Oh, fuck, all that. Oh, yeah. And then I'm sort of upstairs going, I don't want to go downstairs now. Can I just put the pillow in the bath and just go to sleep? So,
did you look down the stairs? And because that bit that you're describing in Wolf of Wall Street, there's a moment where he's at the top of the stairs looking down, and it looks like 30 or 40 steps. It's really like 6.
Yeah.
But it just stretches for miles and miles. Was it
was
like that?
Yeah, it was like that scene from Vertigo, wasn't it? Where he sort of looks down and the whole thing goes ding and stretches. It's like, oh, fuck, I've got to go down here now. Oh,
and then dolly in and pull focus.
That's
like,
it, yeah. Yeah, like the Jaws shot, on the beach, yeah. And the rack zoom, that's it. And yeah, when you're sort of going back downstairs and you're sort of trying to do this all in the dark, and it's like, oh, good Lord. It looked fantastic. It looked fancy, but fuck me, I'm never having a spiral staircase if ever the option ever comes up. So, yeah, don't fight with spiral staircases and don't try and waddle around them sort of half cut at 1 a.m. What else? TV wise, I've had 2 ends of the sci-fi spectrum in the last week or two. On the one hand, I've been rewatching Babylon 5, which is on IMDb TV, which is available through Amazon.
Yeah.
Because they've got remastered episodes and stuff. And I just dip in and out and I'm just going through each episode. And even though it's got ads in it, they put the ad breaks in logical places. So it's actually like watching the normal TV. So I don't mind that. And I've
memories of Channel 4.
Exactly. Well, Channel 4. Long may it and, pull one out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've been watching that and I've actually been like really digging it, and especially some of the political subplots and the war subplots feel very relevant. That's all I'm saying. It feels very relevant to today. I won't go into it if you haven't watched it, but anyway. So well worth a watch if you get a chance. Just get past the shonky graphics, which now look even worse with like 22 years worth of distance. Nearly 30 years worth of distance now. So yeah, just work past the special effects. Put your Doctor Who from the 1980s head on and watch the show for the story. Don't watch it for the graphics. But then on the other side of the spectrum, way over on the other side of the spectrum, I've been watching Star Trek Picard.
Have you now?
Yes, I have. And quite frankly, it can go fuck itself.
Not happy.
No, I'm not happy. The first episode was okay, showed a bit of promise,
Yeah.
But every episode just seems to have characters stand there and point at things that are bad in society, in modern day society. Oh, look, the forest is burning. That is bad. Okay. And then another part of another plot is, this man is Spanish and he's being taken away by ICE operatives, because immigration control is unfair and that sort of thing. It's like, okay, none of this feeds into the story. None of this feeds into any kind of plot. But it just seems to be like a grab bag of kind of writers telling you that things in the modern world are shit through the eyes of Star Trek people, and the plot isn't actually anything to do with any of it. So it's just like, it is stupid. And then there is, the last 2 episodes have just had me frothing at the mouth. I'm literally now only watching it to see if they manage to pull up from this massive nosedive they seem to be in of stupidity. And then they released the news today that all the Next Generation cast are coming back for season 3. So,
are they?
Yay. Yeah.
Couldn't have just saved that then.
Sorry?
Couldn't have just saved it until we actually watched the episode.
Oh, no, because they want you to watch it, because the thing is, by the end of this season, I don't think anyone will probably be watching it, because it's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's literally just I described it on my feedback to podcast, as story-wise, it's like the equivalent of the Grange Hill opening. it's just like there's Post-it notes that say, look at forest burning down. That's bad. Okay. Racism. That's bad. Okay. Over here, there's immigration. That's bad. Okay. Over here, mental health. That's bad. Okay. Over here, getting old is bad. Okay. And it's just like, yeah, all of these things are issues. They're all about something. They're not connected in any way. It's just slapped up on it's slapped up on a whiteboard, and people are just going, that's a great scene. Let's have someone talk about that. Let's have someone talk about that. And they're all valid issues, but they've got nothing to do with the story. But they take up like 30% of the fucking every episode. It's just like, okay. And one of the most boring car chases ever committed to TV is also in one of those episodes. And frankly, the only thing that goes slower than that is the Father Ted episode with the milk float. So,
right.
Yeah, it's absolute cobblers. Absolute cobblers. And, yeah. I'm now literally only it's like hate fucking. It's just like I'm watching it just to go at it now. So they're getting my views, but I'm right. Literally looking at it just to go pull up. Come on, I know you can do it. You can tie all this together and it'll make sense. But right now, it really, really doesn't. You got ships. You got a ship with 24th century technology, and they're in the 21st century, and they can't break into a Ocean's 12 style heist because oh no, they've got cameras. Right? 5 minutes before, you'd seen them hack the entire French telephone network system, but no, we can't hack this room because it's got cameras. And things like, oh, we must respect the timeline. You can't even leave like even the remotest thing to do with the timeline. You can't alter it in any way because you don't know what's going to happen in the future.
But it has been altered.
Yeah, well, hold on. Get this. One of the characters falls out of the sky thanks to a teleporter issue.
Yeah. Gets
taken to a hospital.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen up until the latest kind of episode anyway.
Then he gets put on a bus. Yeah.
Yep.
To be
That's
deported.
Right. Yes.
And then the other heroes come along, rescue him, but instead of beaming him out, because that might cause issues with the timeline, what happens? They EMP the entire fucking bus and release every prisoner on the bus.
Yeah.
Do you not think that might fuck up the timeline? All these people that would have been deported are now no longer deported. They've escaped from the bus. You've got 30 new people doing 30 things they weren't supposed to be doing in this time.
Yeah.
Isn't that a problem?
Just a bit.
They have the bald queen phone up, who also wants to get back to her time, phone up French policemen to come and rescue her. She throttles him, and then when he's been rescued from the bald queen, I won't say how because that's a big spoiler, but when he's rescued from the bald queen, his injuries, which were only around his neck, apparently also require the doctor to remove his spleen, which is now in a box. So now you've got a policeman who wasn't on his patrol, who has been attacked by a cyborg, had his spleen removed because his spleen's near his neck or something, I don't fucking know. And then he's just put on his merry way. What about all the people, all the criminals he would have arrested? What about all the people he would have helped during that day? What about all those things that he would have done had he not been called to come and do something? That's not fucking with the timeline? Apparently, leaving a badge on the floor, that's bad. Molesting and medically altering a policeman, that's fine. Releasing 30 deportees to come and fuck off around the country, that's fine. Just don't leave a badge on the table. It's that fucking stupid. It's a fucking stupid show written by fucking stupid people. but we just wave things around like, oh, look over here, he's Q. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. I remember that. I clap. I remember that. Fucking rubbish. Absolute nonsense.
So you're not impressed then?
No, I was trying to give it a benefit of the doubt for the first couple of episodes, but by the fifth one, I'm just like, you are just, everything you've done up until now is just a waste of time. Oh, and they also name check Into Darkness, Star Trek Into Darkness, which is great because that's my favorite film as well.
Well, Kirk has been name checked twice, at least.
Oh yeah, because nobody remembers any of this shit. So you have to have Picard go, oh, I remember, Gary 7, he did this thing, and he was over here, and he did another thing, and it was over there. I remember all of this. And then 5 minutes later they go, oh yeah, we've got to save your great grandmother who went to Europa. Did she? Oh, it's like, oh right, you can remember 150 years worth of history of a spaceship that you were never on, but you can't remember this woman who actually changed spaceflight and was in your family. Nah, don't remember her at all. Excuse me. Anyway,
wow. I'm going to continue watching it just to see how it goes.
It's gibberish. It's gibberish written by idiots. It seriously is. just gibberish. It's absolute fucking nonsense. At least we haven't got Picard dressing up as a pirate, a French Jolly Roger pirate like we did last season. Just because we got to have a fight in a bar, which also results in nothing in particular. Anyway, right, let's stop before I go off on one again. Because that's what derailed last episode. Right, I was going to do some feedback for this week's film, which we were about to review, but I've just lost it all for reasons I can't. I found a little bit of it here. Oh, here we go. I'll just say these, even though we've got to have our own conversation about it, but I will do this because we've taken so long. I think everyone's feedback would have caught up. So it's like, we had Jack P. Starro, who said, I really enjoyed it. We had Keith Calder, who said, first Guillermo del Toro movie I've watched in a long time, and I can't wait to hear what you guys thought of it. Alan Wilby said, I really enjoyed this one. It was suitably dark. And Sean Gleason actually said, I enjoyed this movie. Good slow burn, even if it was slightly long. Found out they filmed it in Buffalo, New York. It was about a half an hour drive from where I live. There you go. So, they are all talking about Nightmare Alley. But what will we think? Ha-ha, juicy dangler. Roll the jingle.
Ooh, we're watching a new movie we've never seen before. I'm buttering my nipples and waxing my ass. Roll up the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up
Masturbation.
for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. The Mystery Monica film is waiting for us to hit play. Going to watch it today, what will we say?
Right, so Nightmare Alley is a 2021 neo-noir psychological thriller film. There you go, very fancy. Directed by Guillermo del Toro, from a screenplay also by del Toro and Kim Morgan, based on the 1946 novel of the same name by William Lindsay Gresham. And it's the second film to be adapted from the novel, following the 1947 film version. The film stars Bradley Cooper as a charming, ambitious carnival worker with a mysterious past who takes big risks to boost his career. It also stars Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, Richard Jenkins, Rooney Mara, Ron Perlman, Mary Steenburgen, and David Strathairn. I really said Jason Statham there. I don't think he was in it. It was released December the 1st, 2021, and it had a budget of $60 million. How much do you think it made, Darren?
I'm going to give a really boring answer for this one because my mind is not with me. I'm going to say 40 million.
40 million? So you don't think
million.
it made the money, right? Okay.
I don't think it made the money.
Okay. Elton?
I could be wrong.
I reckon it broke even plus this wristwatch.
Plus the wristwatch, nice. Well, actually, funny enough, Darren's close to being right, actually. It only made $38.7 million, so it took
Fucking hell.
$22 million loss.
Well, consider in 10 years' time when we're playing this game, and we just so happen to pick a film in either 2020 / to 2022. These figures can be skewed, can't they?
Yes.
Because of what's going on.
Because of what's going on, exactly. I mean, I don't know necessarily that a 2.5 hour, 150-minute movie is going to make that much money anyway, unless it's like a big franchise movie anyway. Just simply because of the amount of time it takes up at the cinema, and so how many cinemas will actually run it if they can't guarantee the money, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you need a proper box office thing.
Yeah,
Christmas type thing.
Yeah, you need your Batman sort of doing his thing for like 2 3/4 hours, because you know your cinemas will be full for 2 3/4 hours. But anyway, okay. Well, before we get to this, before we get to discussion about it, let's go round the table. Just quick top line. What do we think about it? And we'll start with you, Elton. How did you generally feel about it?
Well, I don't think I've seen many Del Toro movies. I know I've seen Pan's Labyrinth
and Hellboy.
I haven't seen Hellboy. I've seen bits of Hellboy.
Okay.
Which bits? What, like his kneecap?
Did you say good day, sir?
His big hand, isn't it?
His big hand, eh?
And his bottle of matey. And I said, good day, sir.
Euphemism.
Jim is still in the room.
And on the other end of the scale, you've got Pacific Rim.
Yep.
And this falls somewhere closer to Pan's Labyrinth, because I adore that movie. That is just beautiful in every aspect. And I really enjoyed this. I think there was a moment in the middle where I was a bit, okay, can we just pick up the pace a little bit? We get there now. But overall, I did really enjoy this. I thought it was a great story, great arc, great little ending as well. And everything in between the beginning and the end was superb. But it did sag a tiny, tiny little bit in the middle.
Yeah.
But overall, really good.
Cool. It is a bit of a shame Jim's not here this week, because he's seen the old version as well. So we'd have a bit more context for what was in the book, what was actually the old version, and what's new. But okay, Darren, what do you think?
Right. Well, I enjoyed it, but and yeah, you have to excuse the way this phrase comes out, because this is going to sound really bad, right?
Here we go.
I wasn't sure what the point of it was,
right?
Because it just seemed to be a bunch of events tied together with no real, this is where he was trying to get to in the first place. I don't know. It just was like, it got to the end, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because it was like one of those sort of films you sit and you watch, and you want to see what happens at the end. You want to, even if you're like not too happy with it, you'd sit and you'd watch it just to see where this is going.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, I enjoyed it as I was watching it. But it just, I don't know. It's like, normally you get films, you put a lid on it at the end of it, and that's it, it's done. This one didn't seem to have the lid put on the top of it.
No? Really?
That's what it seemed like to me when I watched it. I only watched it once, so maybe if I watch it a second time, it'll be like, oh, fuck it, yeah, of course, I see what you were getting at now. But it just seemed like just a bunch of events tied together. That was it. It wasn't. There wasn't a proper, for me, I don't know, it just didn't seem like there was a proper end to it.
Okay.
There wasn't there wasn't a goal it was trying to get to. It just did its thing and finished. And it was, I don't know, it just seemed like, so what was the journey this was taking us on then? Where was this supposed to be ending up? What's the lesson I'm supposed to be learning here? And like I say, if I watch it a second time, I'll probably see it. Because with a lot of films, and you know, this spans from everything from things like Mad Max Fury Road. First time I watched that, I fucking hated it. Right? Watched it a second time, loved it. I don't know why that is.
Well,
I can't quite put my finger on it.
I've mentioned it enough times, but you know, The Matrix was the same for me. You know, first time I watched that in the cinema, I sat there arms crossed, going, "I've seen this in cyberpunk novels for years."
Exactly. I've had other films that have been like that for me. It's like, and I know I'm going to get struck off a list somewhere when I say this. I had this with The Big Lebowski. First time I watched it, I was like, "So that's it then. This is what everybody makes a big fuss about." And then I watched it a second time, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because that's like just your opinion, man.
Yeah, it's just my opinion, man. It's like, you know, shut the fuck up, Donny. Shut the fuck up, Darren. You've got no fucking
context.
frame of reference. Market zero. Market zero.
You're out of line. You're out of line. You have no reference here.
Exactly. So, like I say, if I watch it a second time, and I know Ree wants to watch it. Anyway, if I remember right, I think she said she's quite interested in it, but I think when I watched it was like she was like, "No, I'm going to bed. That's it. I'm off." So my opinion on the end of it might change.
Okay, might change by the end of this discussion. To be honest,
it may do, because you may point out something to me that I'll be like, "Oh, right, okay, okay, I get it now." Oh, I think it was Kate Blanchett that kind of threw a bit of a shonky into the process. It was her character and her motives.
Right.
It just seemed. Well, I'll get around to that later on anyway. Maybe it was that. I think it was her that kind of, as much as I love a performance, it was her kind of arc that left me. Like,
left me.
Really? This is where you're going with this?
Right. Okay. We'll get to that then in a bit. I mean, for me, this is obviously the first time I've watched it, and firstly, a couple of things struck me. Firstly, it's beautiful to look at. It's really nicely constructed. Everything looks beautiful.
It's lovely.
Second thing was the length of the bloody thing was way too long. It was overindulgent. But the third thing that sort of cemented my feeling that it was overindulgent was that by the time you hit the end and you get the sort of the ending, as it were, and it's all revealed, and we will do spoilers in a minute, so for the moment we'll try and stay off spoilers. But by the time you hit the ending, you just go, oh, so this was just a big, super extended Twilight Zone episode. Or, a Tales of the Unexpected, or that sort of thing. Yeah,
Tales of the Unexpected, I think, more than Twilight Zone.
Yeah, the idea of sort of like your fate being set up quite early on at the beginning of the film, because it's told to you as a story about how things happen, and you finally end up at the end accepting your fate as one of as you were set up at the beginning. So I appreciated it. I liked the look of it. I think it was well directed. I think it was slightly too long, and especially considering that ultimately the plot was really just a kind of like a da-da-da-da-da-da gotcha morality tale. I just thought, well, you didn't need to go as far as you did and take as long as you did to tell a story that as I said, something like Tales of the Unexpected could tell that in about 45 minutes. And, I get movie length and this kind of thing, and probably there's a lot more stuff in the book, and, but, it is a fairly straightforward tale of betrayal and revenge and over ambition. That's really it. And, I'm not taking anything away from the film, but it's just like when you get to that sort of thing, that realization, you just go, and that's going to take you 3 hours to tell, is it? It's going to, oh, right, okay, fine. So while I wouldn't dissuade anyone from seeing it, because I think it's a beautiful looking film, it's well acted, it's well lit and shot and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a beautifully crafted movie. I would also say that this could also have been a 90-minute movie and no worse for it. But that's just me. So, okay, we're going to leave that bit there. Now, going forward, obviously, we are going to talk spoilers. We're going to talk spoilers. So, if anybody has not seen this movie and would like to watch this movie, then go over to Disney Plus. It's free over on Disney Plus. Go watch it and then come back. But anything from here on in, spoilers. And, here we go, foghorn, because we've got it anyway. So there you go. We're on to spoilers now. If anything you hear from here on in, can only blame yourself. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about Bradley Cooper's character. Right? Mm-hmm. How did we feel about him? Just before we get into anything else, how did we feel about him? Because the film kind of lets you make up your own mind about what he's doing and why before really pulling the rug out and showing you. But how did you guys feel about him?
He's a bit of a douchebag. He was just a bit of a douchebag. There's a lot of douchebags in this film.
Yeah. But what about you, Elton?
I quite liked him. He's one of these guys where he clearly hit rock bottom at some point, and he's working his way back up, trying to start all over again, become a nobody, and then become somebody. And he has... does he have delusions of grandeur? I suppose he does a little bit, but he kind of fulfills them to the point, but then... You have the downfall of that person that he has become as well, don't you? But I didn't mind him. I suppose to get into the business that he wanted to get into, he had to be a bit of a shit. Had to trick people, had to tease people, had to work people out. And to be in that sort of situation where that is your job, then you need to be a bit of a dick, don't you?
Yeah, I guess you need to be a bit of a dick. I think the thing I was kind of sort of alluding to really was more the fact that you're never really told from the start what's driving him, and so on the one hand, he looks like almost straight away he looks like he's a man on the run.
Yes,
and yet he keeps to himself. He doesn't go anywhere near anyone. And then finally, through, shall we say, the gentle ministrations of Tony Collette, decides to stay and become a cold reader.
Now, I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 quite a lot, and I've always tried to get someone to give me a sponge bath like that, and it's never happened. I've been really disappointed. I'm waiting for that DLC to drop for that. It
You know
hasn't yet.
You know why? It's because you haven't pressed the 75,000 button combo.
You're still trying to get into the town, aren't you?
You're still trying to get into the bath. It's just 87 button combo for soapy hand relief. It's just like, it's like you have to roll the mouse one way to get one leg over the bath roll top, and then another one to roll it the other way to get over the bath roll top. Then you have to push forward with both thumbsticks to make his arse slide into the water. And then you have to roll the joystick round while tipping the controller so his arse turns into the water, and then presents little Brad up into the sky. You see, you just
Press
don't understand.
R3 to make it jacuzzi.
Yes, R3 for Mr. Matey. Anyway, so, but my point is, he doesn't seem like he's a bad guy. He just seems to be a guy who's an opportunist. But you've always got in the back of your mind that he's burnt a house down with someone in it and fucked off. And you're never quite sure what the deal is with that. And I just wondered whether or not, straight from that point, you were just like, oh, he's a bad one. Or like me, you watch that bit and you go, okay, I'm sure that's going to get explained. But he seems like a fairly nice guy because, even when he first runs into the gimp in the cage, he's trying to talk to him, and you know what I mean? He's trying to sort of be nice to everyone.
He seems like a straight guy, doesn't he? He seems like, to me, it felt like someone who wanted to recreate himself, who wanted to start again. And I think that's what we got from this. He joined the carnival, and he worked his way up. He was grafting that first day, and slowly worked his way up, didn't he? To the point where he left.
Yes. Yeah, he left with Rooney Mara. But okay. And what in Dow? Are you saying he's a wrong 'un? He's a douchebag?
Yeah, he's like a lot of people in that film, a self-serving douchebag. All he's out for is himself. That's it. Right, you see it as he goes on as well as his relationship with the woman he met at the fairground, how that kind of deteriorates. And then he meets Kate Blanchett, who says, oh, this is exciting. And then he has an affair with her. Yeah, how he ends up in the end is he basically gets what he deserves, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, right, okay. See,
I don't think there's any redeeming features about him at all. That's it. It's just, he's doing everything for the betterment of him.
Right.
He's doing here, he's satisfying his own pleasures, which is why he has the affair. Right? He's not thinking of the person he's with. That's it. It's just like, well, it's presented to me, why not?
Well, I think there was more money to be made, wasn't there?
Yeah, but she wasn't offering him money to fuck her, so there you go.
Well, okay then. I mean, let's move on to that then. I mean,
that's it. There's no money changing hands there. He just wanted her, so he went off and he did what he did.
I don't know. I think there was almost like a contract of, you come and work for me and we can scam these people out of their money. Oh, by the way, we're going to have a little bit of bumpy on the way.
Yeah, because I fancy it. Nobody held a gun to his head. That was it.
That's true.
Well, the thing is with that, and I hate to be the one of those guys who goes, well, actually, the girl started it. I'm not going to be like that.
But she didn't go, oh, no, get off me. He was like, oh, all right, then, yeah, I'll have some of that. That's fine.
I got the sense, especially sort of viewing it post credits, once I'd sort of watched it, I got this feeling that because the whole point was that she saw the cold reading thing with the gun and the figuring it all out and the fact he can think on his feet, and also the fact that she had already spied Rooney Mara with Bradley Cooper sort of having that sort of argument behind the door.
Yeah.
So clearly there was something going on, and she's a psychiatrist, so she knew what was going on. She could figure it out. I think she was hatching a plot literally from then. And I suspect that the whole, in typical old style 30s film noir, she's the femme fatale.
Yeah.
And so to me, I think she, not that she's not that she's like, oh, she wanted it. It's more a case of it was part of her trap.
Yeah.
And so I think he's weak-willed, he's got ambition, he's weak-willed, and she takes him in for those psychiatrist sessions, gets the measure of him quite quickly, and then uses her, shall we say, feminine wiles in inverted commas against him.
And he didn't refuse at all.
Oh, no.
He had no trouble with this at all.
Oh, no.
He went for it because he wanted it. He didn't have a moment of like, oh, no, but I'm with so-and-so. And how's she going to feel? It's like, oh, well, there you go. It's being offered. I'm having some of that because I want it. I want it. No one else. I want it. Me. All about me. How can I better myself? I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put my supposed loved one in firing line as well, right? Okay, because she's going to be involved in this, and I'll have her standing there pretending to be a ghost. All right? Yeah, because nothing could go wrong, and I'm thinking of me because that's more money for me. Me. It's all for the betterment of me.
Okay, I mean, I get that. I totally get that he's self-centered, self-serving, and frankly, a complete shit. But she's using that. The Lilith, Kate Blanchett's character Lilith is using that against him.
And the name they've given her as well, Lilith, mother of the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this is.
Oh, it's all there, right?
All over there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all right front and center, isn't it? But it's if you didn't know, you're not paying attention. it's kind of the thing. But yeah, I mean, I think I was going to ask, where Lilith was concerned. It's kind of implied that she's had some pretty bad relationships with other men.
Oh, wouldn't she just?
She never says it explicitly, but you get that sense that stuff's going on. Do you think that the relationship she's talking about and the scars she bears, so to speak, are from what's his name? The crazy dude. Is it Ezra? Ezra Grindle. That's it.
Yeah.
And she's run into him. He's attacked her at some point.
Okay.
And so she's put him. So it's like a revenge against everyone who's wronged her, not just Bradley Cooper taking him for a complete dope that can be rubed into the whole thing.
Yeah.
But also the fact that she's been scarred by a complete psychopath, who we know Ezra Grindle is. And I was just wondering what you guys thought of that idea.
I like that. I hadn't thought about that at the time. Now, bearing in mind, I've only seen this once, and that was a week and a half ago now. So I am racking my brains a little bit. But I hadn't thought about her trying to take revenge on him. But that makes absolute sense. The only thing I don't like about that is it makes it a bit too closed universe. There are a couple of things that you could turn around and say, well, if this is that's a really nice touch, but it closes you up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it also then turns around and says, that this whole thing, is a plot that she's been hatching for years, and she's just been looking for some way of getting her own back on him.
No,
because,
I like it.
Because go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go for it. Go on.
It's a very narcissistic tendency for somebody slights you. Very, just slights you, right? Minimal, and they want to get the biggest amount of revenge on them because it is that I am better than everyone else, and I think she's got I think she's got quite a bit of a narcissistic thing going on there with him, because him just answering her back like that is, that is no way deserving of what he got in the end.
No, I don't think it's because he answered her back.
Oh no, because she does say that. She goes, "Oh, am I stupid now? Am I? Is that it? Yeah. What do you think of me now?" That's what she comes out with.
Okay.
So that was a part of her thing that got under her skin so much. This is what she did to him.
Yeah, because go on.
She could be her own case study.
Yeah, but I mean that's the whole point. She wants money off of Ezra Grindle. She wants was it Bradley Cooper to take the money off him?
Yeah,
and then she's going to make Bradley Cooper take the fall, and that's the end of that. That's her entire game, and that's really the point of the entire story, isn't it? And I guess it comes round to the fact that then when you realise that, do you think that once you realise that, and that's essentially the last half of the film, you've done 75 minutes of Bradley Cooper sodding about in a circus tent and getting wanked off by Toni Collette, and it's just like, okay, that's where I kind of went, okay, you're kind of, once I realised where it was going, you're kind of like, okay, you've taken that long to tell the setup before you've even got to the plot.
It's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Really, because all that amount of the film that's gone by without Cate Blanchett's character being in it. So I suppose you could say that her story is the point of that section that she's in, but what do you say the whole movie is about? What would you say? Because that's only one part of it, isn't it? It's not the driving force behind the start of the film.
No, it's Bradley Cooper's journey from starting out at the very bottom of the rung, working his way all the way up to the top where he wanted to be, thinking in control, and it all been swiped from underneath his feet because he kind of gets greedy with it. He's told not to push these certain elements. I didn't. Was it Pete or was it in the book or Toni Collette turned around and said, you get to a certain point with your clients, and as soon as they start asking about talking to the dead and stuff like that, then you'd say, look, you make your excuses, put your newspaper underneath your arm and disappear, don't you?
Yeah, you own up, show them that it's a game, and make your excuses and leave.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't listen to that advice. He ignores it every single step of the way, and he doesn't care about the consequences of that either, does he? You have Mr. and Mrs. Kimball who want to know what happened to their son in the war. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
And to be close, I think when you get to that stage, he's really should be shutting that book and turning around and saying, look, I'm really sorry, I can't go any further with this. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. But he gives them what they want to know. And so
with
doing
disastrous results.
Well, yeah, it pushes them to the point where it's a murder-suicide. You're like, whoa, that's dark, man. But he's done that because he's got access to Cate Blanchett's back catalogue, basically, isn't he?
Yeah, but also he does that thing that the David Strathairn's character tells him not to, which is believe your own powers. Believe in your own powers, believe in your own skills and abilities, and don't ever sell the spook show.
But he believed in it. So once he had his own show and people were eating out of his hands, he believed in that hype train. He was there.
Yeah, he was all aboard the hype train. Choo-choo.
He didn't think he could fall from that position either. There was no way that he could. How could he fail with that?
Yeah, I mean, I mean that's that is the whole thing, isn't it? That's really the moral of the story. It's about hubris and ambition, and how those things which drive you are also the things that can be used against you.
It's also how much do you believe in yourself, and how much do you honestly believe that you should be there? Because he believes in himself. He gets to a certain point where he has everything that he wants. Then he's presented with an opportunity to make even more money. And so he goes with that and forgets all the advice that he's been given. And in the end, he really ends up where he deserves to be.
Yeah, I mean, just taking a step back for a second, talking about his ambition and also the David Strathairn character. Do you think, because it's never explicitly said, but between the two of you, do you think that the Bradley Cooper character poisoned him? Because he was drunk, he was underneath the stairs, and he goes off and gives him a drink, and you don't see which bottle he gets it from, because there was the two boxes that were clearly set up. There's the red box with the formaldehyde, and then there's the other box with alcohol with opium in it. And it's like, I genuinely thought, oh, you've given him the wrong one. You've given him formaldehyde. You've killed him. But what about you guys? What did you think? Do you think Bradley Cooper actually killed David Strathairn, or was that just unfortunate coincidence?
I think there is something to be said that he definitely did kill him. But something was niggling at me saying that Pete took his own life. He wanted out. He was done. But I couldn't give any evidence for that. I can't remember. I need to watch it again to really cement that. But it just felt we could easily turn around and say that Bradley Cooper took his life. It works for the story, but there's something else in this story that possibly Pete took his own life. He'd had enough.
Yeah. What about you, Tal? What did you think?
I think he was offed. I don't think he jumped. He was pushed.
So you think Bradley Cooper actually did him in to get hold of the book, presumably?
The book, and also to enjoy some more time with Toni Collette. Again, me. Me. It's all about me. It's all about me. The old man's a problem. He's my problem. I'm going to kill him at the very beginning. Me.
And once he'd learnt all these tricks and got the book from Pete, then that was it. That was the time to off him then, yes?
Me. Yes. Forgot about me. Yeah.
Right, okay. So we know where you stand on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's an even bigger narcissist than bloody Kate Blanchett's character. So there you go.
I don't think Kate Blanchett's a narcissist. I just think she's a typical 30s style movie film noir femme fatale.
Yeah, I think. It's just the way she went off at him and what she said to him as he was, that's it. She's finally got him where she wants him. And that's the thing she brings up. And it's because you got taken down in public in front of everyone.
But is it though, or is that just something she's just using to beat him down with? Because at that point he's an alcoholic again. She's made him she's broken his clean streak on alcoholism, and she knows how he reacts to feeling guilty.
Yep,
and she knows how he reacts to various things. So is she really feeling like it's because he's made her feel stupid that she's taking this revenge, or is she just using that as another psychological bludgeon to hit him with because she knows it'll work?
I don't know why else she would mention it. I don't know why. I mean, because it wasn't so bad what he did, but she seems to be screaming at him. So, that's it. It's the ego got damaged. It's the worst thing you can do to a narcissist is do that.
Okay.
Right? Is make them look fucking stupid in public. That's it. You bring them down in front of everyone. That's the worst thing. And
you genuinely think that's where the whole thing came from. That's why she's conned him into getting the money out of her previous client. All of that just comes from this one bit of you've got a gun in your purse.
Oh no, she basically, I mean, she needed his help anyway, but this was just a nice, delicious. Yep, we'll add that on top of it as well. We'll get him to do this for me, and then I can deliver the smackdown on this bloke, and I can completely fucking destroy him.
Hadn't she been going to see him a couple of times though? She'd been casing the Cooper out, hadn't she?
I thought that.
So she was casing him out, working out. Okay, this guy, I can maybe work with him. He could be good for getting the money out of this Grindler. Is it
Ezra Grindle?
Grindle, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's I guess the motivations are kind of left up to the audience to interpret, really, because it's never really explicitly spelt out. I mean, like, again, if Jim were here, I'm sure he'd be able to explain it a little bit more because there's obviously a film and a book. But what do we think about the actual the long con with Ezra Grindle? I mean, I don't know about you, but I felt like as soon as that lie detector came out, I'm just like, yeah, this is a wrong move to go down this route at all. What do you guys think of this guy?
No, I totally agree. It's like get out. What are you doing? Why are you agreeing to this? You know this is going to end badly. But,
he beats the lie detector though, doesn't he? I know there's moments where it spikes, but he beats it because he believes his own shit.
Yeah, which is kind of an interesting little note, isn't it? That that's the warning from David Strathairn. Stop! Don't. Is the instant you believe your own bullshit, that's when it's all over. That's when you're irredeemable.
Yeah.
So that moment when he beats the lie detector is kind of like the final nail in the coffin, right then and there.
Well, he's been doing it for, I think it's assumed a couple of years, where he's actually got his own show in the city. So why wouldn't he believe his own shit? He's been doing this for some time. He can have anyone in that audience and tell them something. He reads everyone like a book now. So why couldn't he? And he realizes he is going to be failing this lie detector, so he twists it and turns it and starts asking questions, so he doesn't have to. He doesn't beat the lie detector. He goes down a certain path where he can believe what he's saying. He knows the route that if I go down this alley and start spouting all these truths, I know I believe these, and so that's fine. The detector won't pick that up.
Yeah. Sort of spin the story in his head that he believes the story rather than. But I think it's kind of very symbolic, the fact that, he's doing all these shows and he knows these things are supposed to go the certain way and he can cold read people, but he knows that it's a spook show and he has to explain it to everyone. Otherwise, he's breaking some carny code thing. But that key moment, that bit with the lie detector, is the moment he finally believes himself. He believes he has powers because he takes the deep breath, relaxes himself, and as far as the lie detector is concerned, he believes the bullshit, and that's it. that's when he's lost. That's the final bit of his soul disappearing out the window.
That's where I thought it was going to go a bit spooky. I thought it was going to go a bit sci-fi and actually reaching on to the other side.
Oh, right. You were expecting some proper spookiness.
I think I was, yes. That was the moment where you could have brought it in because he then believed in it to the point where, oh, hang on, I'm actually doing this now. Shit, I only believed I could do this, not actually thinking it was going to happen, but now that it's actually happening.
Yeah, he's finally fallen for his own lies. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad it didn't, though. I mean, Darren, did you think it was going to go all supernatural spooky? I mean, I was kind of glad it didn't, though.
I mean, I thought that's where it might go. I just wondered if we were going to find some sort of, monkey paw type situation, and this was the thing that was controlling events or whatever. But it had nothing like that in it at all.
Oh, yeah, the baby in the jar, though.
Well, the baby in the jar, maybe that's the monkey paw.
Yeah, the baby in the jar was... What do you think that actually represented, apart from just being a fucking baby in a jar?
Okay, right, this is where I said about the universe getting a bit too close. And the story... From what I remember, the story was that the baby killed the mother in childbirth, or killed the mother, and then it lived for a couple of days or weeks after that, and then they put it in a jar. I thought this was going to be one of the with Ezra Grindle, and he said about he was abusing other children, and he made his lover get an abortion. I thought that was going to be the abortion. I thought that, but then that would be a bit too close knit, and that really was it really in that carnival? And okay, fine. All of a sudden, this person there, it's a bit too Skywalker for me, and I'm glad it didn't go down that route. But then you can also turn around and say, well, it is this like another Bradley Cooper type person, where he looks upon it. There's a moment where he puts the mask, not the mask, the little bandage around his head, and he's got a little eye in the middle of it. Very similar to the little kid in the jar. And there's lots of tales about this kid in the jar, and does he have supernatural powers? And we're not too sure. And it could be, I don't know, there's some sort of connection between him, the baby, and Cooper in its tales. And I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this, but there is something there. Help me out.
Okay.
Someone throw me a frigging bone here.
Someone throw me a freaking bone. Darren, I'll let you go first if you think you got one.
Cheers.
That's all right. I'm just sitting there twiddling the thumbs trying to work it out. Go on, fill some air, fill some space. Do you think it means anything?
I think it's left up to the viewer, really, because there's no special effects. I think you have to make up your own mind where that's concerned.
I mean, if I'm going to take a guess, it's kind of symbolic in terms of that Bradley Cooper's character kills his father, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He kills his father, and he lives for a while, and basically he basically is completely lost. And I would say the baby symbolises sort of Stan's soul. His name was Stan, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
And that whole thing of like, that the mum died in childbirth to this baby, and it's like, no matter how hard Bradley Cooper's character tries to get rid of, being a bad person to his father and being bad to Rooney Mara. He's sort of constantly trying to justify it in his head that he's doing these things for the right reasons for himself and to better himself. He's always there looking at himself in the mirror and going, you know what? These hands are never going to be clean. And just the same as the baby is stuck there in that jar of formaldehyde forever to symbolise that even if it's always there as a testament to the fact that it killed its mum. Mm-hmm. And it's like the symbolism, I guess, is probably that they're two sides of the same coin. They're two creatures essentially that murdered their progenitors and will forever be tainted with that, no matter how hard they try to get away from it.
Yeah.
There you go.
One didn't mean it, but committed matricide, and the other one was patricide, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that was brought to you by Psycho Bullshit Monthly. Bullshit Monthly.
It could be like a representation of his soul, because he comes along, he finds it at the carnival in the very beginning, goes off, tries and do his own thing, has his fall from grace, ends up back where he started anyway.
Because that's the other thing. Right at the end when we get to that point is, what is left from his old life? It's the radio and the baby
and the watch,
and they're all waiting for him at the very end. Well, he never escapes it.
It just draws him back, doesn't it?
Yeah, the radio's there. He sells his watch for drink as well, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the drink, which is obviously going to turn him into a gimp,
mm-hmm.
and and the baby is on the side, in the same carny that he ends up at. So it's like it's almost like a symbol of his fate and his soul and his, that no matter what he tries to do to get away from that initial sin, he ends up back where he started, because you can't escape that sort of shit.
You are always meant to be imprisoned.
Well,
there it is.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
yep.
Is he actually alive? If this is it,
here we go.
Maybe this is hell. Maybe this is hell.
The following segment was brought to you by Baker Foil. Baker Foil hats.
You remember that three-legged dog that he had with him?
Is it America?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, God.
You remember that ketchup bottle he had that he was putting on his egg and bacon? That's North Korea.
Oh,
so it represents the blood that it will spill. It's attack on the West.
It's so clear now. I don't know why. Yeah, welcome to Sood's Corner. Do. Yeah, for all your psychoanalytical bullshit.
I don't think he's dead. No, I don't think that's hell.
No, I think if anything, you could probably make an argument that he's in a purgatory of his own making. That his personality is such that all of his ambitions are driving him towards disaster, because he's got an addictive personality, and he's trying to always escape the mistakes of his past by just trying to make himself better and better and better, no matter what the cost. You could probably say that.
I suppose you could, really.
if you feel like it.
Yeah.
If you want. if you fancy that. Yeah. Okay then. So let's get to the big one. I mean, the end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is not me just going, "Oh, I knew this from Isaac's back," but the instant Willem Dafoe, for no discernible reason, in a completely isolated scene from everything else in a completely new place, not even related to the circus, to any set that we've ever seen before, sits there and just unprompted goes, "This is how we make a gimp." It's like, right, you're telling us and you're telling Bradley Cooper, So therefore, here's the end of the movie, everyone. Whap, whap, whap. Did anyone else see this coming, or am I just acting like a dick pretending that I did?
Honestly, I only cottoned onto it when he got onto the train full of chickens. That's where I thought, oh, hang on, this is where it's going, isn't it? But before then, I didn't really... I wish I could see the signs in movies. If I watch enough, then yeah, I'll probably be able to see them, but I don't normally see them, and it's annoying. But yeah, it was when he got onto the train with the chickens, I was like, oh, hang on, I know exactly where this is going now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like a sort of like, oh, I know it all. But the fact of the matter is, it was just, to me, it was just like kind of, there you go. This is completely isolated from everything else. This scene is here for a reason, and it's very clear. It's here to tell you something. But no, I don't think you could be forgiven. You can definitely be forgiven for not spotting it until like the last minute. That's the whole point. That's what the director's trying to do. It's sleight of hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So don't worry about that. What about you, Dal? When did you figure where it was kind of heading?
Well, it's like I said at the beginning. It just kind of did its thing and then finished, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
so you didn't see anything in that in the fact that he becomes the gimp. He becomes the washed up bum.
No, I didn't actually think it was going to go there. If I've got to be honest, I thought it was going to maybe go in a different direction. So it kind of caught me off guard there.
Okay, so, and you didn't find it as a sort of satisfying conclusion to the story.
Well, I mean, when you think about how this is, like, if this is to teach him a lesson in life, you know, it's like you step on all these people to get to where you were, and you know, you are most probably going to find you are back down there. You know, you are going to be even worse than you were before. Then fair enough, that if that's the moral of it. But at the time when I watched it, I was just expecting something. I don't know what, but it just seemed like I say, a series of events tied together, and that was it. It didn't seem like there was a drive to get to a certain destination by the end of it. That's what it seemed like to me at the time.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I know it's a bit of a lackluster sort of.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like. I mean, for me, I saw the whole thing as, like I say, just like it is literally just an arc of just one man, just being so ambitious and trying to make his own way, but essentially just his own ambition is his own doom, and you know it's like, you know, chasing the dragon of fame, if you know what I mean. It's that whole thing of just kind of like, the more you want it, the more you know, it's almost symbolic of like real, was it reality TV stars now? You know, you'll get a reality TV star that will burst on the scene, and everyone will be like, "Oh wow, they're really good because they wear they wear something fancy and they talk a load of old bollocks on TV, and they are all as thick as pig shit. Look at them," and we all laugh at them, and then they become really super successful, and the newspapers big them all up, and they're in every newspaper on every red top rag from here to fucking Scotland, and then all of a sudden they'll be caught in an issue with, like, I don't know, with a donkey in a hotel room, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, they're trying to get back, they've fallen from grace and they've gone horribly wrong, and then you'll see them again on like some, you know, naff sort of down in the low 200s TV channel, sort of eating kangaroo anuses while people laugh at them or something.
I was going to say, I'm a Celebrity is the geek cage, isn't it?
It is. It is the geek. That is exactly it. It's the geek cage. You know, so you'll sort of see your, I don't know, X Factor or Only Way is Essex or Only Way is Chelsea, kind of like fancy pants, big star at the moment because they just look pretty and get their tits out or something, and then the tabloids grab hold of them, and they'll all be catapulted to stardom, but they just keep going until eventually they collapse in on themselves, and then next thing you know, they're in the geek cage of I'm a celebrity, get out of here, eating cockroaches just so that people on telly eating chips can laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep. Honest.
But also correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Maybe
Not wrong.
Yeah, not wrong. So maybe that's it.
Can I ask a question then? Did
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's character push it way too far in trying to recreate and bring back from the dead what's his name? Ezra's
murdered wife.
Yeah, wife. Wasn't that always destined to fail? Because clearly he's not going to stand here and go, oh, look, there's my wife over yonder.
Mm.
He's not going to want to go over there and go, are you really a ghost?
Mm. Yeah. Oh, it's really a ghost. I'm going to stand here and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
A bit of more than he could chew there. He needed a way of her disappearing and completing the act. He all he saw was time closing in on him, money disappearing because he's now not going to produce what his client wants, and he rushed it. If he'd sorted it out better and worked out a way of her disappearing, now we're turning into like the Prestige, but work out a way of doing it correctly, then he would have earned a lot more money from that. But he got greedy, he wanted the quick buck and kind of screwed it up, ended up punching the shit out of him as well. My God, teeth in his hands. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, pick the bones out of that one, Gunga didn't. I mean, it was just like, Jesus Christ.
This man has no face.
Yeah. What happened to your face? No face McGinty. What do you got to say about it?
I'd like to report a cave-in.
Yeah, exactly. Only thing worse than that was the poor sod who tried to protect him, the bodyguard who got run over.
Twice.
Oh, yeah.
Twice. Yeah.
Twice.
How's he like? But did you guys think that he pushed it a bit too far with that?
Yeah, well, again, it's that whole thing. It's there's a kind of a sort of greedy ambition in Bradley Cooper's character. It's just constantly driving himself forward and doing anything he can to get money, to get better, to raise his status, to get further away from the simple fact that he was an alcoholic that killed his father. And he's always on the run, and he's always looking for something to make him feel better about himself.
Was he an alcoholic that killed his father, or was his dad an alcoholic and he refused to touch it?
I don't know. I kind of interpreted it that he had at some point an alcoholism problem.
Right, okay.
Because there was a whole thing, not just that, because he tried to tell that story to Lilith, didn't he? He was saying, like, you know, how his dad would drink it and get cross and all these things would happen, and, you know, how booze ruined his life. Yet the way he reacted when he finally took that glass of whiskey from her sort of suggested to me that actually, no, there was more to that story than he was telling. And again, it goes back to the fact that she was cold reading him as much as he was doing all that stuff with her. It's just she does it professionally. So I got the sense that alcoholism was kind of right at the centre of all of it. And
He did put it away a bit, didn't he?
cool, not half. I mean, it was. I haven't seen anyone put stuff away like that since someone let me loose at the Pizza Hut bar. You know, the Pizza Hut free for all you can eat. I mean, you know, God dear. But so as far as going with the Ezra con job, I think he genuinely thought he could pull it off, and I think his brain was just on the money, justifying it all, and the believing his own bullshit, but also the booze clouding his judgment, and of course the thought of Cate Blanchett, looking after his cash and noshing on his wanger after the event. The boy was dick blind, as they say. So, he's the worst of all impulses on all fronts. He's greedy, he's a drunkard, he's bloody sexed up the wazoo. He's and he believes his own bullshit, and so that was the whole thing. And he doesn't mind who he destroys, as Darren's obviously alluded to a number of times. He doesn't give a shit who he steps over to get to his aim, which goes back to the baby, because it's like the baby will always symbolize death of the mother. Bradley Cooper's character, no matter what he tries to do, is actually at the heart really still a gimp. He is still someone who will eat a chicken to get something.
Yeah.
He's a gimp at just different stages of being a gimp. He doesn't give a shit what he has to do, just as long as he gets the end goal, if you know what I mean. So yeah. So I think the also, I was going to say, did they actually, because you have to remind me, did they actually explain how Ezra killed his wife? The only reason I asked that is because when Rooney Mara turns up in the dress...
She died in having an abortion, didn't she?
Yes. And again, that goes back to the baby. The symbolism of the baby.
Maybe the baby in the jar was his baby.
And that's what Elton was saying earlier on. It's just that whole thing of, oh, God.
There's Luke Skywalker just walking in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Boba Fett in every scene, nodding at the camera.
Jawas!
Exactly.
ATSTA.
Yeah, I clapped. I recognized the thing and I clapped. It broke new ground.
It could have been, but I think that makes it a bit too closed.
Too convenient.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe it was in the original book. Again, this is where Jim would step in and go, actually, no, you're talking a load of old cobblers.
But that Ezra, he was a nasty son of a bitch, because he'd abused other kids as well, hadn't he?
Yeah, other women. As far as this, I don't know if it was kids or it was other women.
Right.
But excuse me.
But we don't know the extent of that abuse or anything like that. But
no, we don't.
That could be to the point where, you have an abortion, or maybe you just went through this as just have an abortion, just have an abortion. To the point where they end up in Hessian sacks with a brick in the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he'd hurt other women. We know that for a fact. And like I say, I think it's alluded to, if not explicitly said, that he'd attacked Lilith, which is why he's on the hit list of, and she's manipulating Bradley Cooper to basically take him for everything she can. But yeah, beyond that, we don't know a hell of a lot.
No.
But I like it. I like that we don't know too much.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying about it being like a Tales of the Unexpected. You only know what you need to know, and you can kind of derive a lot from it. Mm-hmm. You can sit here and sort of go, well, what does that mean? How does that mean things? But it's never going to tell you, and you can just take it from that. And all options are valid at that point. But then that comes back to the length of the film, isn't it? You go back to it. It's like, well, if you're not going to explain anything to us, are you going to take a very long time to get to what is essentially a double cross? Ocean's 11 did 8 double crosses. did 8 double crosses and did it in an hour and 15 or hour and 20. We're still sitting here at like 150 minutes going, right. Keep going.
Now there's a film I should put on the docket.
What,
Definitely.
Ocean's 11?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. Maybe you should.
Or maybe I could go one better and do Ocean's 12.
Please don't.
Well, whose choice is it this week?
Elton's.
Oh, it's
It is
mine.
Elton's.
Oh, it's mine.
Oh,
Fuck
God,
you,
Ocean's 12.
Oh, God.
It's going to be Ocean's 12, isn't it?
Well, as long as it's
look-
not, Ocean's 13 with Julia Roberts playing someone who looks like Julia Roberts, pretending to be Julia Roberts.
Oh, see, now that's the one I thought it was going to be because, oh, yeah, you really look like her, don't you? Oh, yes, I do, yes.
Yeah, that's Ocean's 13.
Oh,
What, does somebody actually say that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
part of the plot.
Fuck
That
off.
is
What,
part of the
that
plot.
she looks like Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
And isn't Bruce Willis in it as Bruce Willis?
Yeah. And because Julia Roberts' character looks like Julia Roberts in real life, they double cross Julia Roberts by sneaking Julia Roberts into something to be Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Fuck
Yeah.
me, it's fucking John Malkovich, isn't it? It's Malkovich. Malkovich.
Julia
Like,
Roberts.
Flaming Mo.
Robertception. Pretty womanception.
God's sake.
Anyway,
Ocean's 13 is on Netflix.
fuck you. You put that on, I swear you won't be on next week. I swear to God, no. Oh, now everyone's sitting there listening and going, go on, do it, Elton,
Yeah, I
do
know.
it. I know, you fucker.
Pull the trigger, Elton. Go on.
Well, anyway, I think at this point, I don't know if we've got much left to say about Nightmare Alley. Has anyone got any last bits before we go on and find out that you've picked Ocean's 13?
No, I've got nothing else to say about this one. I did enjoy it. I do want to watch it again.
Mm.
And I think I would recommend it as well.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think it's a good film. I think it's beautifully crafted. I think it looks gorgeous from start to finish. It does look like a sort of a top-notch production from the 1930s kind of era of filmmaking. And it looks lovely. I think the acting is all good across the board. I think the direction is really good. I just think the editing and the story itself could have done with a bit of trimming. But that's no bad thing. Some people like the slow burn, and if they do, that's fine. But once you work out that the plot is really a 30-minute Tales of the Unexpected, you're pretty much like, well, right. Okay. Dal, any last thoughts?
No. Apart from I will most probably watch this again at some point.
Okay.
Then I'll probably have a different insight into it then after that. But,
Right now,
yeah,
no.
right now, no.
Nice. Okie dokie. Well, that's it. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was our thoughts on Nightmare Alley, or discussion about Nightmare Alley. Do you have any thoughts? Do you think we've missed anything? Is there any point of this you kind of think, oh, they didn't come up with that, they didn't say that? If so, let us know. Send us in feedback to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Or get on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, or get in contact with us on Twitter, which is @BlackDogPodcast. Now, before we get on to Pimp Corner and pimp out everyone's podcasting wares, so to speak, let's find out what Elton has picked for us next week. And I swear to God, I hope it's not fucking Ocean's 13. But Elton,
Okay.
what have you picked for us, mate?
So I have decided on an animation this
Okay.
time round because we haven't done one. What was the last one we did? Probably Akira.
No. The last animation I think we did was The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
Is it incredible?
Pretty sure. I'll have to
Okay.
double check, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I love that.
It's great, isn't it? Great film, that is.
Well. Some people would say that this film I have chosen is a great film as well.
Mhm.
I do not.
So you've picked something you don't like.
I've picked something I really, really don't like, and everyone else likes.
Okay.
And I honestly have a passion for hating this movie.
Can I ask why you're picking it then?
Because I want to see if I'm wrong.
Well, fair play. Fair play then. Go on then. Okay, so tell us, what is this movie?
So the movie we're doing next week is Pixar's Up.
Wow. Up. There you go.
Up. Should be called Down. That's how you'll be feeling after that fucking opening sequence.
Well, that's the funny bit, isn't it? Because I tell you what, I mean, I've not seen it since it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And that first 10 minutes and the last 5 minutes are the only bits of that film I actually remember. So
I'll tell you what, as well, for a 10 minutes of a movie where there's no dialogue spoken, it says a shit ton more in that 10 minutes of imagery than it does in any Paul W.S. Anderson film completely.
See, this is the conversation I'm looking forward to having next week about this. Because I have
That's the
thoughts
beauty
about
of that
this.
you have thoughts about it.
Yes.
I would be interested to hear that. I mean, I'm going to be interested to hear what anyone else thinks about this film as well, because I think this is one of those films, and again, I speak from the perspective of someone who hasn't seen it since it first came out. But I suspect this is going to be one of those movies that your perspective on it changes based on your age.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really sure about that. The more I think about it, the more I think, because like Inside Out, which I think is also a very good movie, but it's one of those movies which when you watch it the first time, if you're at a certain age, you'll just go, yeah, okay, fine. Bit mawkish, bit maudlin. Or Toy Story 3. The same deal. That you kind of you are, if you hit the right age for these movies, and it doesn't necessarily have to be child age, but the right age for the movie that the story's telling, I reckon they have a much bigger impact than when you see them, I don't know, when they first come out or when you're at a different age. So I'd be very interested to see how this one goes.
So what you're saying is that Up could be a Pink Floyd album.
Oh yeah, definitely. In terms of like when you first listen to it, you're listening to it to act cool, and I'm down with the psychedelics, man. Psychedelics, and then we're back to Wacom Syntiques again. And then you get older, and you're suddenly like, actually, I'm down with this. I totally understand it.
Yeah, now it clicks.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. This is the film equivalent of Alone Again, Naturally, by Gilbert O'Sullivan. Right? Okay. No, listen. No. This is a serious point. Right? Okay. When I was younger, and that was out, right, I just hear the, Alone Again, and Naturally, and it's like, this is one of Gilbert's songs. It's like, I've not listened to the lyrics of this song, right? And then it was many years later when I listened to the lyrics of that song, and I realised that the song opens up with the bloke contemplating suicide. And it's like, fuck me. Are you serious, Gilbert? He talks about chucking himself off a building.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just, you then listen to the song and it's like, fucking hell. I can see why you want to chuck yourself off a building.
It's like the Pina Colada song, isn't it?
I was going to say that. I only found out last week that my wife likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Yeah.
But like 20, 30 years ago, it didn't make any sense to me at all, that song.
No, it was a nice little tune, wasn't it?
It was only when
you were tired of your lady, were you?
Yeah, we were. We were tired of each other, and then basically we both hooked up in a bar thinking we were someone else. And how
even
we
though
laughed.
you're not some kind of poet, you thought it weren't half bad, that advert you put in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the reply.
Yeah, I'm not into yoga, but I do have half a brain.
There you go.
I do like making love at midnight, but I'm usually on my own.
Aren't we all?
Well, they do say that the greatest love is learning to love yourself 5 times a week when everyone else has gone to bed.
Until the glasses fog up. Anyway, right. And on that note, so next week...
Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. That song's about masturbation.
Oh, God. Whitney Houston was banging one out. Well, no. Anyway.
George
stop.
Benson did that at first, and it's like she probably didn't even realise what it meant.
This is probably a really good time to introduce you guys to, what's his name? I Touch Myself. And...
By Divinals. Yeah, I know that one.
No,
yes,
no,
very much so.
But Rolf Harris did one.
Fuck off. No. Stop there. Stop there, Elton.
Beep,
Elton.
beep, beep.
Elton,
Back
go no
up
further.
the truck. Back
Go
up
no further,
the truck.
Go no further. You've mentioned Rolf Harris and I Touch Myself by the Divinals, both in the same sentence. Okay.
We're going to end up. I know that the Commode Mayo podcast has ended, and there's more room at the top in the sort of like film podcast charts. But I don't think we're going to be inhabiting it with discussions about Rolf Harris touching himself.
I think we're about to take an express elevator right down to hell. Right? Okay. If you carry on this conversation any further and just don't walk away, just walk away.
We've just turned up on some FBI Vice Squad list. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for that, Elton.
You are more than welcome. I'm just sorting out you a link for this.
No, we will not be opening any links. What we will be doing now is saying thank you, everyone, for listening. But before we go, let's find out what's happening in Hypnagoria land. Well, I'm going to look up Hypnagoria now because Jim's not around. He says definitely trying not to even look at any messages that are suddenly appearing. Hypnagoria. Oh, there you go. Hypnagoria podcast. He says desperately trying not to get involved in anything that's going on. So anyway, yes, Jim's currently got a commentary club for a film called Ice Spiders, which can only be a good thing.
Ice Spiders?
Ice Spiders.
Is this a new Apple product?
No, it's definitely not.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a Microgoria, a reading of The Marquis of Death. And he's also got The Nightmares of the Nosferatu, Part 1, Dark Origins, about Nosferatu. That's on hypnagoria.libsyn.com or hypnagoria.com. Check that out. And Elton, when you're not looking up paedophiles singing Divinals songs, what are you doing over at Rogue One Media or Rogue 2 Media?
I don't do that, by the way.
Well, you're too late, mate. We got it on footage now. We're not editing it now. Too late. You're committed. You put the bottle on Mr. Matey and say, "A good day, sir."
Good day, sir. I haven't done a shonky because I've been quite ill, so I haven't done anything like that. Grand Prix, the cars are still going around in circles. Hopefully I have some more shonkies for people very soon. But go check all the old stuff out at road2media.com.
Cool. Darren, are you appeared on anything else apart from Crime Watch?
Nope, I'm not on anything. That's it. I haven't been on a podcast in a while.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes,
all right,
there
then.
you are.
I haven't, but I've sent some feedback into the broadcast, getting progressively more ranty as the weeks go on. So unless you want to hear me on that, but listen to the broadcast anyway. They do good reviews of Picard and various Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica stuff and Buck Rogers. So go over there and listen to them. That's always a good thing. Broadcast.libsyn.com. Right. That's it. We're going to wrap it up now before we get any further into litigious, nightmarish situations. As I said, send feedback in for Nightmare Alley or any other episode to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com or the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. And that's that. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Elton. Thank you, Darren.
No problem.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jimmy, wherever you are. And we shall see you all next week for Up. Bring a balloon and a tissue, and I'll leave you there figuring out how that all relates. Balloons and tissues. Madam, I bid you good day, sir. Good day, good night. I put the lid on the matey bottle and I exit stage left, pursued by a bear. Good night.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.